Pop in.
Quality for me?
Alright. Alright, did you join the event? You in here? Oh shit, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Pop in.
Quality for me?
Hello, hello. So, okay. Alright. Alright, did you join? Do you have audio on the live stream? Oh shit, yeah. Hello. I don't think there's any audio. Yeah. Pop in.
So this room has a dedicated VR player, right?
Hello, hello. So, yeah. Just go to media. Alright. Alright, did you join? Do you have audio on the live stream?
Yeah.
Hello. I don't think there's any audio.
Media. Load media. So this room has a dedicated VR player, right?
Hello, hello.
3D or 2D?
Yeah. Just go to media. Alright. Alright, do you have audio on the live stream?
Yeah.
Hello. I don't think there's any audio.
Media. Load media. So this room has a dedicated VR player, right?
Hello, hello.
Oh
3D or
man.
2D?
Yeah. Just go to media.
Cool. Yo.
Alright, do you have audio on the live stream? Okay, so I don't think there's any audio.
Media.
Oh god. Okay, don't change the room without warning.
I didn't see it. Dedicated VR player, right?
Oh
I thought it would
man.
load something up about that.
That's cool. I was like almost done typing in a really long URL.
Okay, so audio.
Oh god. Okay, don't change the room without warning.
Hey, Shane.
I didn't see
Hey.
it.
Oh,
I thought it would
man.
load something up about that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I added all
I was
your
like
videos.
almost
Did you
done
have Oculus
typing in a
installed?
really long URL.
Okay, so audio. No, you need Oculus to use the Oculus headset.
Oh god. Okay, don't change the room without warning.
Hey, Shane.
I
No,
didn't
but
see
it was with SteamVR through Oculus.
No, I thought it would load something up. White space everywhere.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I added all your videos.
Hello, everybody. Hello,
Oculus
Pablo.
is a really long
Hello,
URL.
Shane. Okay, so audio. No, hey, so can you try video playing? I just want to see if that works through you.
Okay, don't change the room without warning.
Hey, Shane. No, but it was with SteamVR through Oculus.
So,
No,
how do I access the media that I put?
Yeah.
Oh, I added all
Just
your
open
videos.
Media Playing and My Media. Hello, Shane. Hey, so can you try video playing? I just want to see if that works through you.
Okay, don't change the room without warning.
Hey, Shane. No, but it was with SteamVR through Oculus.
So,
Okay.
how do I access the media that I put?
Yeah.
Oh, I added all
Just
your
open
videos.
Media Playing and My Media. Hello, Shane. Hey, so can you try video playing? I just want to see if that works. Hello, Lucas.
Alright,
No, but it was
troubleshooting
with
over.
through Oculus.
So,
Okay.
Oh, Lucas.
media that
You look so.
put.
Just open Media Playing and My Media. Hello, Shane. Hey, so can you try video playing? I just want to see if that works. Hello, Lucas.
Nick, your face looks exactly like your face.
Yeah.
Can you use a photo? Is that what the photo feature does? Oh my god, let me fix this right now.
Yeah. Oh,
I'll
Lucas.
see you in a minute.
You look
My Media. Hello, Shane. Hey, so can you try video playing? I just want to see if that works.
Nick, your face looks exactly like.
All right. How'd the video play for
It's
everybody?
a photo. Is that what the photo feature does?
Max, did the video go
Oh my
fine?
god, let me fix this
AE,
right now.
how's the video?
Yeah.
We'll see you in
Good
a
for me.
minute. Okay. Cool. So Shane, you'll be the video player.
Good.
Where avatar's still on, you can turn avatars off here because it's a
Alright.
3D video, so avatars will make people feel weird.
Oh, so
Max, did the video
show
go fine?
avatar.
Just AE, how's the video?
Sure.
Point at it and then trigger. We'll see you in a
Good for me.
minute. Okay. Cool. So Shane, you'll be
There
the
we go.
video player.
Good.
Yeah. Let's just try once more. Do you want to try Jazz and come over here. Just now
Okay.
when the video is playing where
Um,
avatar's still on, you can turn avatars off here because it's a 3D video, so avatars will make people feel weird.
Oh, so
Hey, AE.
show avatar.
Just AE. How's the video?
Sure.
Point at it and then trigger.
Good for me.
Okay. Cool. So. Yeah. Thank you. So you're streaming right now? Okay. Good. Yeah. You can do this playing. Okay. Stop the video, Shane. Great. Everybody saw the video? Yeah.
I saw it.
Okay. Felix is streaming and he's in China.
Hello. Hey.
Oh, okay. You can set. Oh, use your phone. Use your phone to enter chat. Cool. So I'm gonna change space. Video is working fine. Yeah. Excellent. Let's go to a nice starting zone where we can begin. Just somewhere nice to relax. Hello, guys.
Hey, Nick.
Hey, John.
Morning,
How's it going?
Nick. Pretty good
Good
yourself.
morning. How you doing?
Doing well.
Excellent. It's 9 o'clock there, yeah?
Yeah.
Excellent. A nice early morning. How's the weather? Oh? Oh, wow. Looks just like you.
I think I'm unusually high, but I'll take it.
Oh, you Do you mean tall or high?
Sorry. Oh, oh. Yeah, I'm not. It's too early for that.
Ah, that's
Everybody.
excellent. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well,
Hi.
well, I couldn't remember how tall you were, but I didn't think you were
No,
this
no,
much
hold on.
taller
Can I
than
lower
me.
my seat?
You can set go open your little menu with the B button, go to VR mode, and then recenter position.
No. It's my avatar is actually super high. Um, yeah. I didn't know what to do initially. Myself, like a thick boy, and I
Oh
gave
no,
myself
not Tiny Wesley.
seven feet. Yeah, 7 feet high.
Oh, really?
I couldn't find the option to go down again, but it's okay.
No, that's cool. I like that. That's imposing. Oh, he disappeared. He was too high. Oh no. Oh, there he is. Okay. Cool. Now, what time is it? Is it official event start time? It is. It's probably gonna take a little bit for everybody else to kind of show up one by one. So something I like to do when I have events, just to get people meeting each other, knowing each other, something I call uh, business speed dating. So it's like speed.
Oh, damn.
And just introduce yourself and try to get to know them a little bit. Pretty simple, yeah.
Wait, can you guys hear me?
Okay, and we got a 1 minute countdown that's going to be playing, and just find somebody who you don't know, hopefully, and chat with them.
Yo, Shane.
There we go.
How are
What's up?
Hello. I'm
I think
Evan.
it's a mi-
Alan.
You're
Nice.
so tall.
You.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm from the VR AR class. Hello. Nice to meet you.
Hold up,
Yeah, I set the
tracking is
maximum
going all
height
over
just
the
for
place.
fun.
You.
But I don't know how to undo it.
Do you have a mic? I will.
Yeah.
You live with
I
Okay,
will
hey,
take a
And
little.
so Felix
John.
is doing
Wait,
the live
class.
Wait, if we
Video
so,
next.
Look, can you move over a little bit?
Likewise.
easier to talk.
let me.
Everyone
I can hear everybody in my ear all the time.
Yeah.
There we go. Now everybody set to 3D voice. It should be better. Okay.
Yeah, this is better.
Yeah.
Hey,
that works a
Pablo.
lot better.
I was
Nick.
chatting with Felix.
How you doing?
Felix is doing the live stream, so he can't talk, but you can just talk to him.
It's not that.
Okay, hey, Kate.
If I just can talk.
Quick route.
How's it?
Oh, good, and you? I just want to come check how we can implement VR at 360, and we'll learn about how Nikk is working on this to get some tips about it.
Yep.
I just got a contract with a guy down.
All right.
Oh, awesome. What kind of car?
Hey everybody.
It's more for the AR
Hey
stuff.
guys. Sorry to interrupt. Like you're all having a fun time, but your 1 minute is done. So don't worry, we're gonna do a couple more of them. Find somebody else new, and you got another minute to make a new friend.
All right, well, nice to meet you for
Yeah. Oh, and just to let everybody know, Felix is live stream, so if you just see him come by and stare at you and not talk, it's because he's filming for the live stream.
Hey, everybody.
Peeking.
Yes. We're now best friends. Like we're like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito.
Okay. That's on the short.
Sorry again.
Does it have a mix and match? Yeah, I guess so.
Good. How are you?
I'm thinking. Wait,
How
Wesley.
have you been,
What do you
Caleb?
do?
Good.
Time.
Yeah. Look.
You do something related with
Yeah, I'm
VR or 360?
experiences. Museums.
Yeah. I'm trying to turn the music down. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Also,
I
there's
think the music
I was
is
like,
okay. Cool.
I don't have
Wait,
to turn
what kind of your
music
experience
down.
is?
Oh, I think.
Trying to turn the playback controls.
It's like
Nope, it's locked at 58%.
like an.
How's your final project going?
The art gallery.
I know Wes
That's-
is so small.
Pictures that are already there.
No, you go some full on VR headset
so
and
much.
taking them to another time to explain
What
what
about you?
happened in the past.
Hi, Felix.
Going okay. Just been like trying to troubleshoot the free
Except
tracking.
we're not doing it now because of COVID.
I can't
So,
hear you.
New
All
SDKs I
headsets
can
out
try
and-
out though.
Wow.
Yeah, no one's.
I took about 2,500 photos.
Can you see
Yeah,
yesterday
Your
for
first
well,
in and out
photo
and kinda
tracking. There's an SDK that stitches all
I hear you.
photos together like a photo can, then uses that for tracking.
I'm sorry, Felix. I cannot actually hear you.
If you plug your headphones into the computer, you should be able to hear him. While he's
yeah, well,
talking.
those what I'm doing. I'm putting some of them on.
I can become a
some
chicken.
on Sansar and the different platforms to see what. Haven't put anything in.
My
in
knees
Cage yet. Seems like a nice platform.
Dude,
but
does it look like I'm
just sort of looking around and getting to know what.
Hey, everybody, I turned the counter off because it was playing really obnoxious music. Oh no, it's that's a nightmare. Anyways, okay. So Lucas has just created a chicken. It's really impressive. That's who he's spending his 1 minute speed networking with. And yeah,
No, I
how
was
about-
talking to Wesley.
Oh, okay. You weren't talking to the chicken? It'd be amazing if your avatar could be a
It's
chicken.
bigger than
Museum.
Wesley.
I wanted to know how
This is really great.
it is working right now. If I can.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna do one last speed networking. So this is gonna be your last chance to make a new friend,
Hi, Felix.
find somebody new, and chat with them.
Okay. The big chickens. Some haters. Than you.
Hey, tall
Everyone's
fella.
friends with the chicken now.
Let's chat mono a mono.
All right, John.
Without that music in my ear.
Music was great.
Let's go to
The music is horrible.
They make love.
Okay,
Party
I know
Lucas.
you.
Pablo.
Hey, AE.
Hi.
Hey, Nick.
What are you up to, John?
Hey,
Michael.
How's it going?
honestly saw you
Good, how you doing?
Excellent.
recently, right before this was announced, and hearing that this class was going to happen, I was like, oh
Hi,
my god,
Shane.
that's fucking nuts.
Hello.
Because I was going to reach out. I actually
Shane.
commented on the
Nice
video.
to
hope you
like,
didn't hear
"Hey,
the last
we're
How
gonna
are
make
you
this
doing
public,"
today? Anything
and,
interesting happen?
um,
I guess it's 9
we're
o'clock in the
gonna do
morning,
it
yeah?
kinda
No,
short,
Chicken is bigger than.
how to do this thing, 'cause
Good
it's
thing.
such a cool concept.
I'm an East
Oh,
Coast.
okay.
Wesley, can you talk? I haven't hear you.
It's just something
East Coast of
that,
Canada.
I
Oh,
think you
cool.
can.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Hey, Van.
Like Nova
Yeah,
Scotia.
we're not hearing you.
Yeah.
Sounds like I actually connected to both of them.
Yeah.
Maybe
I
22,
could talk
yeah.
now for
Awesome.
some
I'm
reason.
Canadian.
Your avatar actually
Oh,
looks
where you
like
from?
you, but in a formal, older
I grew
you.
up in Calgary.
That's how it goes. You
From
gotta
the-
deceive.
But right now I'm
Friends there.
kind of.
I'm
Oh,
catfishing right now, but
business,
business.
I
Hi, Felix.
think.
Okay.
I think Felix isn't here.
Yeah.
You're here?
It's,
Okay.
it's a good. It's kind of trying to find a time that works
Can
for
you
everybody around the
grab
world.
it? Or
but
you
Oh,
want
yeah. Yeah.
that screen?
And then a bunch of these things at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Ah, makes
Think-
sense
think
because
There's the mute.
yeah, can't
Oh, yeah.
move. Yeah, it's true.
I showed it to
Not
one of my
bad at
friends.
being on the East Coast because you're sort of halfway between the West Coast and Europe, so it's kind of can find times to
You
work
can get
both.
right in the middle. Hello,
Yeah.
awesome.
It's like, well, it wasn't
And
just
your
like
name?
this.
Or should I just call you
Alan.
Alan?
Alan,
Cool.
but
Nick.
Hey.
Good,
Nick.
good.
Yeah.
That's a nice little hand vibrate.
He took his moment.
Yeah, exactly. Connection.
Cool. Let me see. Can I gather everybody in? Unless you're still talking. Other people. Oh,
Yes,
there's a secret chat happening back there. Here's the chicken. Okay, cool. Yeah. So today, oh, let me switch to our poster flag. Today we just want to have a little bit of a fun kind of morning slash afternoon, depending where he is. Talk a little bit about VR film, talk about some of the stuff we're making, show some different things, and yeah, just maybe make a couple friends and learn something along the way. Let me introduce myself. I'm here in the middle. Nikk on my left. Lucas, would you like to come here? Excellent.
Yes.
And our third host is Max Noir. Okay, stand by our. You can stand by your picture. We can do a cool by the poster.
Get a photo of this one.
Yeah, and we have a couple things prepared. Today, Lucas is going to talk a little bit about a recent project of his that has been blowing minds all over the internet. Max is going to engage in a little bit of a chat about VR and the power for empathy. And I'm going to show off some psychedelic VR films and just kind of share some thoughts and ideas of how VR can be made in a little bit weird and a little bit unique ways. And anybody throughout, if you want to kind of engage in something, I definitely don't mind if you interrupt. Also, there'll be time at the end for Q&A. But yeah, we're just people who make VR, and we're here to share with you guys. Would you like to say anything, Max and Lucas? If you want to maybe just introduce yourself, start off.
Yeah, so hey guys, I'm Max Noir. I'm the head of the US branch of FXG, which the lovely Nikk here is the founder of. And yeah, it's great to be.
Cool. Oh, and you guys, you can now clap and engage. It's a new update.
Holy
know.
shit!
Yeah.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, it is very, very cool. Cool. Lucas, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Lucas. I make weird. I released a VR experience called Where Thoughts Go last year at Quest, and now I am doing. I'm gonna be working on like a YouTube show. I'm pretty much about creating VR things rather than just create VR things and put them online.
Yeah, Lucas
yeah.
builds the future.
Yes, that's the show, and we're gonna talk
It's
more
very
about it.
exciting. Cool. So I do because both of you guys kind of have some stuff to share, and I have 3 videos to show. So we're gonna go to the VR video room, watch a video, listen to Lucas, go back, watch another video, have a chat with Max, and then watch another video. So everybody, hang on to your pants. We're about to travel to another room. Actually, let's do a selfie. Do you want to come up here just for a little selfie?
Oh
Group
yeah.
selfie?
Moving in.
Run in.
Nice.
Shane, you're in the poster.
Oh no.
Lucas had to get it.
Chicken master.
This is awesome.
Chicken's gonna be a
Alan,
big part of my
Come on,
series.
slide in here, Alan. Okay, awesome. Cool. Sweet. Did you get some photos, Felix?
Oh, shit.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm smiling.
Felix is so ominous.
First print screen. It's okay.
I just feel
I'll
like
press.
a jump scare's coming any minute.
Oh, Wesley just jump scared me. Okay.
Oh no.
Jump scare.
Okay. Awesome. And now, everybody, we're going to be heading to the VR video room. So get ready to do that teleportation dance. Oh, I should put on that horrible song with the countdown again. That seems like
Yeah.
I have to do it backwards because of these.
I love this
colors.
clapping.
Yeah, let's get a clap going.
I know.
Get a Clap. Oh, here comes the song.
Evan's
All right.
shutting it down.
Can't.
Yeah. Our leader has disappeared. Chicken. No rules. This is cool. What's happening?
Wait, dude, the mic disconnected.
Yeah, what's going on?
I was like doing too many moves. Okay, now we don't need to listen to the song. We're just. So I've for you guys today. They're gonna get progressively trippier. So to start off, I'm gonna show you the first kind of psychedelic music video I made. Noir at Habitat. Shane, Mr. Video Man. Make sure to turn off the avatar.
Yeah, this is so cool.
Oh. You can try and watch it with the avatars, but it might be weird.
Okay, stop that.
All right, we'll watch it with the avatars. It's okay if they're already on.
Too late.
Oh, okay. And I'm going to keep
Evan, I love your
everybody's
pose.
audio on. So if you want to talk during the video, feel free. If you are filled with any ideas or I just want to pause for 1 second to confirm. Do you guys see two videos, one above the other, or one
Yes,
video?
yes.
Two videos.
Two.
Everybody sees two videos.
Yeah.
Okay, that is
Oh, we're all
incorrect. To all these students of VR film, why we see two videos? What is that? Yes, Evan.
Two cameras for the dual
Um,
3D.
Yeah, okay, well, so it's the stereo. So it's up and down, which should be combined to show you one single video. And it's actually made with one camera with 4 lenses.
Oh.
So 2 shoot in each direction. The newer camera we use is, let's see.
Same deal.
Oh, this is rough. Okay,
Good
so
jam,
we're
though.
not gonna watch this video. We're going to see another video, and that one is gonna be 3D for real.
I was excited to go back to Habitat.
Cool, man.
Yeah. Oh, you've been to that?
Yeah.
Well, I'll see if I can fix it while we're enjoying the next thing. Shane, can you play the La Panda video?
I like the scared claps every once in a while.
All right, and just to confirm, this time you only see one video?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And, and so all the
Yeah.
confirm, is this video chopping back?
It's
Like
chopping,
it
yeah.
freezes a bit
I
and then
think.
freezes?
Yep.
Yeah, hey Shane, can you try? Maybe I played the video, so that might have been.
Okay.
So let's see if you play
Okay.
it and it plays from you, because I think it's. I'm in China right now,
This video's too powerful.
so it's China is very difficult with playing content from YouTube.
Okay. Sound with feeling.
Oh, it's still happening.
Doing well for a minute.
I'm just gonna leave and come back to you in 5 minutes when the video's over, because I think I'm listening.
Oh,
Yeah, that's cool.
it's funny to see how people spread out during the video.
Yeah, awesome. Super cool.
Hi, Karen.
Hi,
Welcome.
Thank you. Sorry I was late.
Hey guys, so did that
No,
work when I left?
it did.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were the
Just
problem
holding
all along.
And that's a bummer.
Yes.
I really wanted to watch that with y'all, but I'm
It was
glad
great.
that I could leave and it would work. Sweet, cool. So yeah, in a moment we're gonna move back into the other space, but yeah, just while we're here, if anybody has any questions about the film or any thoughts, just a quick kind of overview of why that film is the way it was. I've had a really negative experience countless times in VR where I put a headset on somebody and they don't finish what I've like prepared for them. And it'll be like a 2-minute video and they watch like 30 seconds of it and they take it off. So my overarching concept for that video was like, what can I make that will like be constantly changing? So no matter how ADD somebody is, that they'll keep watching because they'll be like, before they can take it off, it's like, oh wow, something new's happening. And then so with that concept, then I was like, all right, I'm gonna take people on a journey. And I wanted to start off like really calm with like a super slow motion and then gradually ramping it up with the speed ramps up, starts mixing and then mixing like CG and tilt brush and like things coming in and out just to kind of give that like I guess that journey where the story goes through kind of its like overall climax and then ends just on a single color.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
love
pretty
the blending of
that.
spaces. It was really cool. It's really hypnotizing as a
Oh,
whole.
thank you.
I do have a
Cool.
question.
Yeah, please.
How much of a pain in the ass is just to edit 360 video?
It's a total pain. Oh, Karen, welcome.
Thanks,
I can tell from that laugh, that like pain laugh is the laugh of somebody who has experience editing 360 video.
A little bit, yeah.
Am I right?
Yes, yeah.
It's just there's so many things that all of a sudden once it's a 360 video being changed. Like even adding in text, like to put text into a video, you can't just put it right on there because you're editing on like a stretched out equilateral version of the video, and so you need to use all kinds of like add-ons and different things to your text, like makes it ballish. So actually on your video, on your computer screen, the text looks warped, but then in VR, it looks normal. And so everything is really hard. And then combine it with 3D, it makes like it things even more difficult because not only is your text going to be weird, it also needs to be the right, the left and right side.
Okay, and I'm just curious when it comes to um, when you were recording, did you have to do any sort of stitching manually, or can you just drag that stuff into like video editing software
So
immediately and start editing?
we recorded it with our own camera, like a 8 lens, kind of like one of those GoPro rigs, but we took it apart and rebuilt our own rig with a new shell and everything. So we had to stitch the video first, like the 8 different lenses, and stitch it into a panoramic video. And then once we had that panoramic video, we pop it into Premiere or After Effects, and then you can edit.
And is there any way you do like real time like visualizing in Premiere as you're doing it, or do you have to export, put it on some sort of VR player and then see it and iterate very slowly
No,
that
so
way?
there are ways. It actually has an add-on where you can switch your like camera view to being like the VR view, where you can kind of rotate it around left and right, up and down.
That's cool.
And also GoPro has a player that cooks up with Premiere, where you can like see what you have in a headset. There's still like a little bit of a delay, but it's, yeah, you don't have to completely render an MP4 and then put it on a headset. Caleb,
cool.
were you raising your hand?
Yeah. What about the sound? Do you want to fish in Premiere Pro or setting the camera already?
Okay, so for sound, we usually record sound separately. So as we record the sound separately, then we take it in and we put it into Premiere Pro, or we use other apps for spatializing the audio. For the one you just saw, because it's a music video and I just wanted the music to be coming kind of all around you, so it wasn't spatialized audio, just standard stereo music.
Okay, thanks.
Cheers. Any other questions? Hey, and Lucas, you can look through the environments and you can just choose whatever environment you'd like to talk in on your
Cool.
little pad.
It's a lot of responsibility for a guy who was playing with the chicken.
It is. Cool. For the, I don't know, I'm sorry I lost your chicken when we came over here.
No, she had though.
Okay. Cool.
Wait, so I'm trying to find out where do I go? It's just IFX? No.
Locations.
Location.
Users.
I don't see. Oh, locations. Oh.
On the bottom left. Okay, take your time. Any more questions about the video you guys just saw?
Ooh.
Where
So-
where
Yeah,
was?
John?
Caleb.
There's so many.
Caleb, question. John,
John,
you can go
please.
first.
Yeah, John, please.
Okay, yeah. I was wondering if you had any kind of mindset of how you were directing between the scenes, like kind of getting to look in a certain direction. 'Cause sometimes
Yeah.
I felt like I was trying to look at 4 different directions at once.
Okay, so that's kind of, I feel, a really interesting dichotomy with VR phone, where you want to give people freedom to look where they want, and sometimes you also want to let people see things. For me, I like to kind of combine them both. And so, like, that film, I feel you can watch it multiple times and notice completely different things. Like, maybe some people you saw the DJ like transformed into like a Ferrari and some girl and different things. If you the other way, you would see the audience would transform as well. And so maybe you notice both, maybe you just noticed one. It's the kind of where you can watch the video again and see different things and like follow kind of different storyline and different kind of threads of the film. But still, there were a lot of things I did to, I guess, guide you if you kind of wanted to get in the guide. Like walk up to the cam. I don't know if you guys could see me in the film. Did anybody know who I was in that film?
Yeah, in the onesie,
There's a
right?
little tag.
Yes.
A onesie,
Hello,
yeah.
one.
Do you know what that onesie was? Or no, I'll give a
Is it
clue.
from The Simpsons? The
Ah,
three fish eye?
that's
Oh, the alien from Toy Story.
Yes, I was the alien from Toy Story. Anyways, so there was one scene where I come up to the camera and I'm on this side and I come over to the camera and then when I touch the to turn off the camera. And at that moment, then I cut it to another scene where I had gone and where I'd turned on the camera. So it's where me
Yeah, I
walking
noticed
back
that
to the
one. That one
camera
worked
and I
really
touch it.
smoothly.
Yeah. And then because I'm in the same space, so you're just following me. And actually, the whole scene moves around. But if you're following me, I've stayed straight, and I kind of move over out of the way. So something like that, I feel, is like a natural guide the user's view, and I like to try and do some things like that. And when you switch to the desert kind of
Yeah,
fly
that one
through,
was.
I had a character that was on the roof who kind of rotated back to the middle. And so if you did follow like a rotating character, then once it stopped, then the scene changed and that was your forward direction.
Cool.
Cool.
Thanks.
Evan?
So how comfortable are you like going away from the camera, and do you do that often? Or are you scared to leave it?
I'm terrified.
I'm super
personally.
comfortable.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I shouldn't be. I've broken a lot of cameras. Um, but I guess for me, it's like it's kind of painful. A super painful thing of making VR films is being in all your films. And like, I don't know if you guys could tell in that video, like I was dancing and stuff, but I did not want to be dancing. I was the last week of a music festival, and I was so done. But I'd already agreed, like the DJ, the Panda, was like something really important that I'd agreed to film, and it was like on the plan. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna film him, and then I go up and here he's DJing. I put the camera here. I go and stand to the side. One, I'm on stage, so everybody's looking at me. You know, I can't just like sit on stage like this. And also, two, I'm gonna be in the video. And in the video, if one of the like closest characters is just standing there, it's gonna be bad for the video. So I'm like so out of it, but I just like had to do the movements. So it's painful. That's a super pain. And I go and hide, like if there's something a good place to hide behind. But with something like that where I tried to get a lot of different clips instead of like one problem I have with a lot of VR films is it's kind of like here's the camera, I'll put it in front of the stage, and if it's a show band or something, you're gonna have 10 from that perspective. And one, that video I mixed in other scenes, but also even of the scenes of the concert. Like it was behind him, it was beside him, it was on his desk, it was down in the crowd, it was in all kinds of different places in the crowd. And because I'm doing so many different scenes, each time I'm gonna be filming for 30 seconds or a minute or something, and I can't put it there and then go hide. And also when it's down in the crowd, that's gonna get kicked over and knocked. Like, oh, the last camera was at a wrestling match. A wrestler just like booted the camera and just shattered.
Do you have footage of that?
Oh no.
I think so. I think so. That's like a one we just finished filming, and I haven't seen the footage, but that will be really
Yes.
excellent to see in VR, like kick and then the view crack. So it's worth it. Yeah, sometimes it's worth it to break the camera. We did one film that was a short film, a little action film, and I like hold a gun to the camera's head like I'm executing it, and then I shoot it, and then I kick the camera over. So it's like you're being like executed, and then you die. And that camera broke when I kicked it over. But I don't know what I expected. I think Lucas, are we ready?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah! All right, everybody, do the
Very distant.
teleportation
Hell
dance.
yeah.
All right, Lucas, take us away. Oh, Evan's got the moves.
Downloading
That was terrible. Whoa.
Okay.
Whoa.
This is beautiful. Lucas, I'm gonna put you
robot.
onto 2D sound, so everybody can hear you really loud.
Cool. So
Yep.
there's no chance I can play a clip, right?
Yeah, is there a screen here? Maybe.
You can put screen.
I was inside of you. Sorry, that was weird.
Well, take me to dinner first.
Next, do you know how to put a screen?
I'm about
I think
to.
I'm.
Nice. And, Lucas, do you want us to sit down or stand around you?
Oh
How
hell,
would
do
prefer?
whatever. Just
Do you want us
have
to stand
fun.
around you and
Yes, I like that.
Okay, make a circle, guys. It needs
Um,
to encourage him. Okay. Lucas.
can you hear that?
Lucas.
I have the video in front of
Yeah.
me.
we heard it, but we can't see it anywhere.
Okay, so I guess the room needs a screen.
Yeah, there's a way to make a virtual. Oh, there we go. Max just made a screen.
Awesome.
Oh, whoa!
Oh wow.
Holy shit! All right.
Oh, hold on. I have to search for it again. There we go. This is not terrible. Wait, what? Oh. Who's ironically clapping?
All right, everybody. A round of applause for.
Oh yeah.
God, this experience is lagging. Oh God, I don't like how that sounds.
How
Would
are
you
you
prefer we
clapping?
made another circle
Sounds
around you
so
and chanted your
real.
name again?
Just together, but I have backwards because I have riffs.
Does it work?
There we go.
Oh,
Yep, yep. I've been
Okay,
clapping backwards.
So
the whole
I'm just gonna
time.
play the first minute in case somebody here.
We can.
oh.
Oh, beautiful.
Ah, yes.
Playing well.
Cool. So that's the intro. I'm just gonna skip to the result real quick, but a lot of crazy stuff happens. Is when try out the
Yeah,
time
awesome.
machine. Yeah, the video, but you can see it being. Oh, spoiler. Hold on, this is hard because this is a very, very long video. Hey, Felix, is he recording by staring at me?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like that Rick and Morty character. He's taking photos of people at the wedding.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to 1 year in the past.
Whoa. I'm on a tree. Eating a bagel.
Yeah, so those are like, I just spoiled the ending, but there's a lot of cool stuff that happens in between, and the video is more about the journey of building things than the actual end result, including all the ups and downs. I get in trouble with Russians. The project almost collapses, and I almost end it all. There's like lots of things that happen. But yeah, I recommend that you watch it. But I guess, I actually started working on this project when, well, actually, I can just, if it's not too distracting, but okay, this would be cool later. With VR in January, I was actually pretty sad. VR didn't really excite me as much. I felt like there weren't a lot of cool things happening in the community. People weren't doing things that like it seemed that the excitement that we saw in 2017 just wasn't a thing anymore, and things were starting to get too boring. And I was also having a hard time getting my newest project off the ground after where that's. So I just decided to do something that I thought was really fun. And I spent 2019, living as a digital nomad. So I was traveling around the world, um, switching countries all the time. And I thought it would be really cool if I could record as much as I could with it. So I didn't even think about making a time machine at that point. I was just recording my life, just so I wouldn't forget all the cool trips that were happening because I have a terrible memory. And then when I was burned out with VR, I started playing with all the footage I had, and then I was like, instead of just making VR, I made a story about creating VR and really try to get people passionate and emotionally engaged with the process of changing reality and building impossible things. Um, how Lucas Builds the Future was really born. It's really a combination of all my interests in making things that I think have depth and educate people, making things that I think are really funny, really interesting, but also that it's actually educative and interesting. Because there's plenty of creators on YouTube that do funny stuff, but I'm looking for funny, dramatic, and interesting all at the same time. So that's what I tried to do, which is why the video has several moments where it gets
over my head. I had never worked with this much data before, and building the time machine was gonna test every single one of my skills. Cause really, the time machine was divided into 3 distinct parts, or trials, if you will. The control panel, the memory finder, and the time travel effects. And let me tell you, man, trial number 2 terrified me. It was by far the most complicated and difficult trial of them all, and I had no idea of where to even begin solving it. And if I didn't figure out a way, not only the whole project would collapse, but the entire past year would have been a complete waste of time.
So yeah, there's also like a layer of storytelling and drama behind the whole thing. So yeah, hopefully a little more than a YouTube video. I would love to get any questions. Of course, this is more of me, less of me just like talking about whatever I want, and me more like addressing your own curiosities, questions, etc. So raise your hand if you got something. John, hi,
Hey.
John. Are you the John I think you are?
Yes.
Hi, John.
So for all the data that you had, did you actually keep buying those drives, or did you end up storing on like a terabyte hard drive? Because I think they were all 256 gig in the video. Because I was like, why does he?
Yeah. So that's the thing. That's part of the format, is that I try to do a little bit of sorry, I can't get to the exact point, I think. Oh, it skips huge chunks. Yeah. So I'm treating these videos as like a documentary. Sorry, this is the thing that I'm building up towards. So my character's an alcoholic. Yeah. So it's Jesus,
It's all about
this is
the pull
terrible.
lever.
Okay, let's just this is a good frame. So no, it's I had to buy 4 hard drives, like 4 2 terabyte hard drives. That's
Mhm.
what the actual amount was, which was way more than I expected. It was like a lot of data for me. I never worked with anything like that. So to express the audience my shock and confusion and the rising tensions, I decided to exaggerate by buying 200 junk hard drives and making it look like that was like all the data, which was an emotional representation of how I perceived the data to be. So I think to make this more emotionally compelling, I don't want this to be like a vlog. I want to mix the vlog format with some fictional elements that make the whole thing more compelling. And ultimately, I want the whole thing to feel kind of like a little bit dreamlike and a little bit surreal.
Mhm.
So it's a real project, and it's something that I really built. and a lot of what you see throughout the video, a lot of the drama is real. But every now and then, I manufacture drama here and there just to make the whole thing like more compelling. Even though in this one, which is another hard thing about this, because the project is hard, but been telling people about the project is hard. But I'm also trying to develop my own form of fiction, nonfiction hybrids out there do this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think it worked really well.
Yeah, I'll keep pushing that and see how far. Hi, Karen.
Hi, Lucas. Yeah, wow, what a fantastic video and a story. I absolutely. Um, I was curious about the filming process and like how I are filming all the time. Can you that a little bit? Like,
Yeah, as I say in the video, I just did my best to record as much as I could. I didn't. I found some ways to make the spectacles record longer than they should, but then that led to some other issues. So really, just like every single day, I just set myself time to record something and to go out in the world and to look for something interesting to record, which actually, I'm sorry, my cables are like all tied around my chair, which is why I've been being over in weird ways. Um, so yeah, it was really just me trying to get as much footage as I could on any single day and forcing myself to go out into the world and look for interesting things, which make life quite more enjoyable, actually. If you said, just to go outside and look for something interesting. Yeah, it made 2019 a much better year, I think. So it varied a lot. Some days I would get a lot of footage. Some days I would get just like bare minimum. But the way the time machine works is that if there's no recorded memories at the particular minute, then it just gets the closest memory to that date. So it still feels quite seamless, regardless. But yeah, I couldn't record like literally every single minute because there's just no technology for it, and I can't build that in my dorm room yet. Come on, keep it. Oh yeah, cool, Pablo. Hi.
To like upload an executable of this in any of the stores, or is this just for your use?
Maybe. Honestly, releasing probably not. It's doing things, finishing things and putting them on a store is like it's just boring, terrible, non-creative work. So it would be like for me to make something that's like the version that you see here doesn't look like it, but it's broken as hell. There's like bugs everywhere. It barely works. It works enough for the video. If I were to release it to the public and not get people angry, complaining that it sucks, I would probably have to work on this for 3 months. It's like I'd rather do 2 new projects and put them on YouTube and get a this. Most of the work in software development. I'm hesitant to say non-creative, but if you're gonna do a VR app or game or project, usually the first 20% is where most creative work happens, and then the last 80% is just you crushing your head against the keyboard, bug fixes, everything breaking and falling apart, optimization. And I found out by releasing my own thing last year that that's the part that I hate. So that's the part that I'm not trying not to do. So I'm sorry. Maybe if there's like crazy demand, I could do something. But yeah, I'm trying to decide this as I go. But giving myself the freedom not to do that, because it also lets me pick projects that cannot be released but are super interesting, which is something that no one does. They don't make any money, and no one, but I'd rather have the freedom to do like, okay, this I could never release. It's worth building, maybe even if you want to use.
That's
that
very
makes
cool.
sense.
Yeah, thank you.
Cool. Who's next? Hey, Shane.
So you mentioned that people don't do what you do because they don't make money. How are you able to do what you do without making money off your project?
It's not that they don't do what I do because they need to make money, but it's more that people when people are judging the value of an idea and whether they want to put in effort, they usually look at, can I make money off of this, um, as a deciding factor of whether they are going to do it or not. In my case, I actually don't care about money that much, which is a problem in some cases. But I'm more interested on, like, is this idea, does it make me, does it really excite me? Does it challenge me? And is it something that I think that's really important and needs to exist? And most people don't think that way yet. And I understand that, the way that I make money is really um, by making crazy leaps of faith and almost always going bankrupt, but somehow things work out in the end. That's kind of like how my financial life goes. Um, when I yeah, when I moved here to the Bay Area and I started working on Where Thoughts Go like full time, I landed here. I had $20 in my bank account. It was pretty scary. Um, but then like that was the week I got like some investment. They got me working, stable for like eight months, and then I found this grant that was perfect for me for another year. Um, and now I'm trying to focus on Patreon to really get the community to fund me. And now that Where Thoughts goes on the quest, there's some income coming from there. But it's really, I guess my financial strategy is just betting on originality and hoping that someone's going to recognize it eventually and that money will appear, which is a leap of faith, but it has worked. Barely, but it has worked. So, yeah. I believe if you do things that are unique enough, money appears later. You do have to, be comfortable with the idea of doing something for 2 years and nothing appearing, and then it shows up. It's high risk, high reward. That's what art is. It's high risk, high reward for everybody. Be a creative spirit.
Well, thanks.
Yeah. I'm hoping that Patreon can be it, for me at least. And I'd love to turn this into an actual TV show. That's actually one of my ambitions with it, which is why it's in the format that it is. Hey, Richard, you got a question?
Hi. Yeah, I was curious. Like you said that, I guess in your community, there's not things without evaluating it first for money. What communities are that? Because I found that to not be true with many communities.
It's not that people don't do things when money's not included. It's just they don't put, I think, this level of effort um, into a project. That basically stopped my life for 4 or 5 months to build a time machine video, and that is something that doesn't make any sort of financial sense. So yeah, there's plenty of people, like especially in the open source community, that are doing things out of passion, almost exclusively. But I think there's not a lot of people who dedicate their full time to things that have no sort of financial promise. Those are rare, basically. It's not that they don't exist. There's plenty of people working on stuff out of passion. That's not what I didn't mean to imply those people don't exist. It's just they're really rare. And because they're rare, the chance that somebody can do a kind of work like that resonates with the mainstream public is even more. It's even rarer. So that's hopefully what I'm trying to do. But yeah, no lack of people working with passion in this industry. If anything, mostly everyone in VR is working out of passion because there's. If you want to make money, there's better ways of doing so. Like most of the people are here because they really love this stuff. So sorry if I sound like I was over simplifying some of these things. Hi, Nick.
Yeah, I think maybe that's true in like San Francisco. I don't know. I was there a little bit, but not very long. But I think a lot of academic communities and a lot of artistic communities, there's a lot of folks who spend their life pursuing their passions without judging what they want to do based off financial gains. I guess it's just kind of certain communities do it more so than others.
Yeah, I have plenty of artists that do that, but I think pretty much all of them, they are, they and it's all they really care about. And then there's all this contract work. That's the money part that bogs them down, right? So, in practice, what they end up doing is that they dedicate 70% of their time to paid work, which still develops them, but doesn't really develop the 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 big artistic voice that they want to develop. And it's just a part of that. 2016, I was doing WordPress for at under minimum wage, and that's a problem. Um, but yeah, I do feel like there's almost no artists right now that have 100% of freedom or the ability to spend 100% of their time doing the crazy stuff that they believe in. And I really want more people to do that because I think like it really helps the industry at large. And I've been trying to find a way to like how can I help my other artist friends to basically find some structure so they don't have to take contract gigs, so they don't have to take jobs, so they can just do their weird stuff full time. Yeah, time is really important. It's a non-renewable resource. Companies usually buy it away from us at discount rates. Uh, Pablo?
Uh, those funds or investments that have bring you to making all of this possible?
Uh, Honestly, all of the aside from releasing Where Thoughts Go and like Quest and Steam sales, etc., all of the connections that I made that led to some sort of grant money or small amounts of investment in the past 2 years, it was all word of mouth. It was all me going to conferences, making sure that people knew what I was about and the stuff that I was working on. And every time you see somebody else who has done something that um like every time I see somebody doing really artistic work that's like really good but doesn't have any media commercial thing to it, I'm like, how'd you fund this? And then I try to find out, where's everybody getting money from, and what every now and then you find someone who's a really good fit. And what I found is that when you do find that person, it's usually through word of mouth. You don't have to put in a lot of effort. Like every time I try to raise money on my own by going out there, by pitching stuff, it was a really good experience, but I've literally gotten almost nothing off of that. Um, Almost everything happens organically. So I think the most important thing is that people know what you're about and people know what kind of stuff you're doing. And you look for an opportunity that's like a perfect fit. So there has to be the least amount of effort to actually make it happen. And the rest of your time you just focus on working on new stuff rather than trying to raise money, because trying to raise money can be very time consuming. And I feel like I've kind of wasted a couple of months doing that. I could have done more projects.
Well, thank
Yeah.
you. That's a very nice advice.
Yeah, don't again also take all this with a grain of salt, because again, this was this high reward thing. Things are working out for me, but I'm always like there's always danger lurking. So this is something that I'm also still figuring it out. Um, but what's actual good advice is build a community, like have a mission that you're all about, so people look at you and they're like, okay, this is what this person's trying to do, and make it a strong mission and get them to fund you. Because if you don't have big corporations or big nonprofits behind you, you need to rely on the community that you have. You need lots of individuals to protect you, basically. Yeah. So yeah, the community is the most important aspect of it. Have a Discord, talk to them. I try to get on like a voice chat with them every morning and what everyone else is doing. Don't make it about you. You are like the reason they get together. But once a community exists, it's not about you anymore. It's about them, and building a place where everyone can help each other and do cool stuff. So, um, yeah, that is like on the real good advice. Everything else is like how things worked out for me, and there's some truth to it. But if you don't want to get contract gigs, and if you don't want to have a job, and you want to do just artistic stuff full time, you need at the very least yeah, you need individuals backing you up, lots of them.
Lucas, Wesley wants to ask you, how do you emotionally handle the high risk in creating videos, as the idea that you don't do something without reviewing?
Sorry, can you repeat the question? How did I handle the what?
How do you handle the high risk in creating videos? As in the idea that you do something without no review coming from it?
Okay, so basically, how did I deal with the uncertainty of like not being sure if anybody would care about it?
I think so. It's Wesley's question, but his mic is not working.
Oh, sorry, Wesley.
But I think so.
I've been thinking about making something like this for like a year and a half. And it's so I just really wanted to find out if this would work, and if people would care about it, and this sort of like long form, you know, making stuff with storytelling format. And as soon as quarantine hit, I had a lot of free time in the same space, and I was like, okay, maybe, and I was burned out with VR, and I was like, I'm gonna, I do my best, and people don't, just not gonna work because I literally like try my best. Something that I was proud of. There's very little I dislike about this. I mean, there's not about it that I found that's wrong with it. Now that I look back at it, I'm like, there's plenty of things I do better. But yeah, I made it by really just, I didn't check my email for like 3 months. It's scary. But I was like, I'm just gonna do this, just this, nothing else, single-minded focus. And yeah, once I released it, I hoped it would do well, but I didn't care if it would do good or bad because I knew I tried my best with it. And yeah, now it was really up to, does the world want me to exist? Basically. It turns out it's kind of. I hesitate to say yes because I have some pretty fucked up projects planned, but okay.
Question here, if I may. So you're saying you basically continually motivated yourself because it was just quarantine and you just didn't really have a lot to do? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, that's what pushed me to like really focus on it like 100% of the time. But it was already started to leak out of me in January, when I took a weekend to make a little prototype of a version of this. And it originally was going to be like, it was going to be a 90-second video, or just show, cute little prototype, post it, and I forget about it. But then I started to go of like, what if I tried to make a bigger story about this? Because everybody already does short stuff on TikTok, etc. But like, what if I do that thing that I've been thinking about doing for a year and a half? And then yeah, I started doing it, and I started trying in February.
Sorry, what was that?
I started in
liked a
early
bit.
March as well. Oh,
Like
sorry.
the last sentence or something.
So I was already thinking about it. It's fine. And before quarantine in February, I was already trying to do it. I was trying to make it, but it was a completely different version. I reshot this from scratch 4 times, because they were the different formats. And in March, when quarantine was in, that's when I was like, this is all I'm gonna do. Yeah, because it
kind of reminds me of Bill Wirtz in that way, because I don't know if if anyone knows who Bill Wirtz is.
Oh yeah.
But he did the complete history of the world, I guess, which was like what, half an hour long. And he was on a podcast. He was mentioning that some days he just kind of got up and he just thought, oh, I've got to go work on that again. And I can imagine it must have taken you like such a while, because it is half an hour of insanely amazing editing. And I know I've done a sort of thing to that, and it took a month. So like, it must have taken a while, and I'm just surprised how you managed to just motivate yourself for about all that time,
I think the fact that it's comedy really helps, because I laughed so much while making this, and I think that was so important to me that that I'm trying all these different kinds of jokes, and if you can make yourself laugh as you're building a project, I think that helps. It's plus the fact that it's something creatively challenging. But I think that was one of the biggest things. Every time I made a 90-second clip, I would send it to my friends. We will all laugh about it together. I'd feel good, and I'd be like, okay, I can make another one. So I think that was a big part of it. Those small moments. But I think this in 45 days if I would do it from scratch. Yeah, I think the reason it took so long is because I was trying to figure out what my format was, what my style was, uh, pacing. I was just figuring all of that out as I went, which is why I had to do it from scratch 4 times because I would try things out and it wouldn't really work, and I would do it again. And I'm also not comfortable on camera at all, actually.
Wow.
Which is why I narrate instead of talking to the camera. That helps a lot. Sorry, Karen and then Nikk.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing that in these days where we're so used to short videos and for for VR videos, for 360 videos and that sort of thing, they tend to be shorter, but you really managed to keep our attention for the full 28 minutes, which is fantastic. It's just a testament to how well you did it. But I'm also curious about it's pretty clear that you an artist and a creative, and but how do you sort of describe your work in general, or how do you talk about what you do? Do you sort of say, oh, I'm a such and such artist, or I do this? How do you think about your work?
That's I restarted my career so many times and did so many different things that I guess I'm still figuring it out. But I think I'm finding a lot of comfort, in VR and AR. I guess this is a term.
We're not hearing you right now, so
Oh.
yeah, we lost you there.
Hi.
We lost your audio.
Am I back?
Yes.
Yep.
Cool. I guess I am a post-reality artist.
Okay.
Yeah, I do think that we're entering a period, seeing that a lot with social media, how the concept of a single reality is being changed, be it by people who are trying to bend it, but you can see technology with virtual and augmented reality. And even with this form of storytelling, I am mixing fictional elements and non-fictional elements, and you don't know which is which, actually. It's and this yeah, I don't know how to describe my work because I can look at it back, and usually you find out about your work by looking in retrospect and seeing, you're like, oh, I guess these are the underlying threads. But yeah, I guess I just want people to look at themselves differently. I want people to look at the world differently. I want people to look at impossible things as tricky possible things. And I'm not sure exactly what my work is about because I've done so many things, but they seem to be really about making people feel deep emotions and make people laugh in new ways and surprise them with depth when they least expect it. Those are the things that I can notice so far.
Nice.
Yeah, because I think comedy is great. It's mostly misdirection. The way that So, Nikk, you had a question, and I can go through these questions faster as well if we're running out of time.
No, I don't think we have any time limit. Let us know when you feel like you've answered as many questions as you want, but you can keep this going as long as you want. Yeah, but I love it. It's really inspiring just to see such a long piece of content. Like it's a half hour watching. I watched it at like 4 a.m. I was like, oh, I'll watch like a minute of it before I go to bed. And then I watched it all, and I couldn't stop it. But I wanted to ask.
I think a lot of that is the narrative layer. Oh, sorry.
No, please. Narrative layer. Yeah, because it's got this story it's like so connected, every part to the next part.
Yeah, I actually, while building this video, I was like, oh, I'm actually going to structure this video around a 4-act structure. So this is, usually what people would use in TV shows and screenplays, etc. There's an antagonist video, which is trial number 2. there's the low point, there's like all of the little beats of an actual, good story. I try to structure the video around those, and it worked, which is a cool mix of the YouTube vlog format and what we conceive as, like storytelling. And I think there's a lot you can do by mixing those two together. That the YouTube genre has been established, you can subvert it in all sorts of fun ways. And I think this is what the series is going to do a lot.
Yeah, those were
What was the
really
question?
fun ways. Oh yeah. So two, as you just mentioned, that that was that as painful as it looked?
Yeah. For a couple of days, I thought the project was dead, and I actually built an entire different version of the project in the yeah, I took a step back from it for like 3 months, and it was all
Oh,
true.
that
Actually,
like was
that part was all
really
yeah.
painful to watch. But
That
I
part was
love.
actually all true. I didn't go out into the rain, and um, but yeah, that part unfortunately is actually true.
Well, what's also I'm wondering about the procrastination. If like when you were kind of putting off trial number two, and then you did so many other things, like the reactors and the dog and all those things. Um, do you feel that procrastination can be a positive force? Like if you weren't procrastinating on trial number two, would you have those things that seem to be a really interesting part of the app?
I guess procrastination is part of my creative process now. I'm just trying to accept it at this point. Because I don't know, it seems to work. I procrastinate, but I eventually get it done. So I guess there's something happening, and I guess it gives me a break from things and lets me think about it. I think it could be a good thing. It could be a good thing in moderation. There's a lot of play that can happen in avoidance. You just can't do it like chronically. Um, but that's why I really think it's important for artists to find ways to only do the work that they want to do full time, because even though procrastination time doesn't feel productive, I feel like it's part of it. Um, and yeah, if I replace procrastination time with like contract gigs, I fear this wouldn't be done actually. Um, so I don't know. There's a lot of power to single-minded focus, and I think procrastination can be like a little break of that doesn't completely disconnect you from the project, because it's not like there's something else actively competing for your mind space. You're just wandering off for a little bit, and then you come back. So it can be good, and it can be bad. I don't know. I'm still figuring it out. I want to procrastinate less, way less, if I can. Yeah.
Cool.
Some people, recommended me Adderall and stuff. This is not an
I'd
endorsement.
actually recommend against that. I've been down that path.
Cool. Sorry, that was a joke, not endorsement.
Awesome.
Evan?
Yeah, James is actually limp right now. So I was wondering about the importance of collaboration in your projects, because you said that you would send clips to your friends and stuff.
Yeah. I iterated through every single joke in that video. Like literally I would send it to my friends and be like, what do you think? And basically if they don't like it, I do it again and I try to like adjust it. If they feel like I should adjust something, I adjust it and I see how they react. And if it's good, I do it again from scratch until they say it's great. Like you either have a really, really, really reaction to the little clip, or I consider it a failure. So my friends were a great way to, get those reactions. I had like again 5 different versions of the intro. A lot of fun, but none of them, I was trying to find something that really grabbed their attention and made them bust out laughing, but created intrigue and all of that. So having friends you can send clips to was like absolutely essential. Also just for motivation as well, because if I had done the vacuum, it wouldn't be as good. But I also got a lot of good feedback. Some of the jokes were a little bit too dark. yeah, I guess also sending stuff to if, especially if it's a diverse group of friends, is also a good way to make sure you're not going to get canceled ever. Hopefully, because comedy
also,
is always a trap, always a trap.
yeah. I was just wondering about the. Did you gone with anyone for the Where Thoughts Go or Where Thoughts Go?
So I had two friends that came in to help me with small things when it comes to web development, just because I was a pretty new back end. Um, and I had people that helped me like when I was taking it to festivals to help me with installations and stuff like that physical. But the software, I'd say it was like 90% me.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I needed help with some of the web stuff.
Cool.
Any other questions?
All right, everybody.
Cool.
A round of applause for Lucas. It's amazing.
Oh wait, Pablo,
Woohoo!
was that a question hand or
Yeah.
was that a hi or no?
No, it wasn't a question. Thank you.
Okay, cool.
Awesome. Great work. Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Much, Lucas. That was
Oh,
really fascinating.
Yeah.
Project
Rope,
and
I'd love to
oh,
know what is you worked on later. It sounds interesting.
Okay, I mean, thanks.
yeah, definitely. Find Lucas on Twitter. He's sharing all kinds of great stuff, and yeah, how about send him a message with what you're up to. And I'm sure other people here, if you have any interesting projects or anything, Lucas is a very friendly guy, and yeah,
Yeah, I have a really good Discord community. There's lots of people working on their projects, and we're all like
I can
sharing
confirm
updates.
that, by the
And
way. It was a nice talk we had last night.
yay!
Yeah. Where would we be able to find like a link for that?
Ooh, it's oh god. I should make a URL for it. Um, but you can find it in in the YouTube video in the description. There's a link there, and in the Patreon there's a. I'm sorry, Alex. Always. Okay. Yeah, there's in the description of the YouTube video. It's right there. And yeah, I'll create a URL for it later. But sorry,
awesome.
it's kind of defined right
Oh.
now, which means only the people that are really into it are entering, which is cool. But I also need to make it clear.
It's like a secret quest to find Lucas and the community of Rizzottans. Oh, I should have asked, how close did you ever come to making a cult? But we will find out later in your series.
Sorry,
Episode
am I
4,
missing something? Like,
Lucas
a
starts a
cult?
cult. All right,
So
everybody. Lucas, you want to
Yeah,
answer that?
I'll say this: a lot of the jokes that seem on-off are storylines I'm establishing.
Oh,
I know
teaser.
one of the things whenever I make stuff, one of the things that actually puts me off of making things is that I know that it kind of gets a bit overwhelming with all the things I can do. Like there was this one time I was working on something and I kept thinking it takes a while to make things, and I kept just kind of thinking of new things I could add into it. And then kind of by the end of it, it was just like, this is too big. Like, so I just didn't end up making it. It happens a lot. It's annoying. And it usually puts me off of making things. But that sounds amazing. Like like it's like a
Yeah.
cinematic universe.
Kind of, yeah. That's the thing. You have to control your ambition, especially early on, and do things that don't match your level of ambition, but are the things that actually can get done. And that's a very painful process, especially if you're very creative, because you just have to crawl your way up, and that's just patience, unfortunately, which is something that takes a while to learn. Yeah, gets easier when you get older, when you can start things in terms of like years rather than months, because when you're 18, a year seems like forever. When you're
That's awesome.
my age, which is 27, you can think about in terms of like a 3-year plan. Okay, that sounds reasonable.
All right, everybody, back to the 360 video room. Do your room changing dance. We're about to move. Get her into a That only works if you're in a circle. Oh, and hey, Mary, welcome to the event. Also, who muted the sound? That was an important part of this. I don't know if it'll work without the song. Dun, 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 dun.
And why is there what?
I knew you didn't leave the chicken. I knew that was still here. And yes.
Oh, there it is.
Shane, can you try and play Habitat? Let's see if the 3D will work this time. And maybe keep avatars
Work
on.
on spawn location in this.
That'd be fun.
I'll just
Avatars
become
on
the
for
blob
it?
when we load in.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Gonna keep avatars on, have a little bit of a dance party, everybody.
Oh dear. Oh my god. Oh.
It's rendering on both eyes.
This is new.
Oh yeah. Okay, is the 3D off for everybody?
What?
Is the 3D wrong?
Oh, it's on.
Yeah.
Definitely on. Definitely on.
There is an offset in between the two eyes.
Yeah. I think for me, my left and right eye are switched. Does that happen in other people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Oh, it's so trippy.
This video is supposed to be trippy, but this is a little bit too trippy. Okay, Shane, and let's turn the avatars off. That video, we won't have a chance. Do you want to turn the avatars off and see Jazz Blanche? No, it is not the last thing. Okay.
Tiny Wesley.
Tiny Wesley so much.
Oh god.
Oh, now it's just in my
What?
eye.
Oh, whoa. Holy shit.
Whoa.
This is cool.
Okay.
This is what the single feels like.
Tiny
This
Wesley, you
is-
must save us.
I gotta go for dinner. Bye bye. Lots of love, everybody. How
Thanks,
do I
Evan.
Hi,
exit?
Robot.
everyone.
Thanks for joining. Nice mustache.
Okay.
Lucas, you're so
Maybe do you want to try that again, Shane?
He's my cult member.
So, try the jazz one again.
Yeah.
get jazzy.
Okay, no, this is not working.
Whoa. Oh, this is cool.
Is that God?
No, that's me. Okay.
Well,
So it is.
Max, do you have the video?
Not this one, no.
Okay.
Well, it is quite the ride to have a broken perception with everyone.
Yeah, that's a journey that we're taking together. Let's see here.
Oh, that kind of looks right.
A
maybe.
little bit.
Hi, Ronan. Welcome to the event.
Hey, everybody.
Hello. Clap your hands. Damn, you're looking.
Everybody, clap your hands. Is the video playing?
No,
I don't think so.
it's just the logo. FX.
Okay. Maybe
Well,
press
this is
play.
kinda
Then.
Propaganda for us.
Ooh.
Oh, we should have done a selfie with the logo. Oh no. It's this.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah.
So trippy.
Okay. This is not working out. Maybe switch the video off 3D.
Okay.
I know what my half-blind dog feels
Cool.
like.
So this is well. Okay,
Go
this is an
Wesley.
interesting experience where our background is 3D and it's on a different layer of everybody else. Oh, Luke, are you riding in the wave?
I'm riding with Wesley.
Where's Wesley? Oh yeah, everybody follow Wesley.
This is what VR is all about. So wait, what's gonna happen now?
Look at that.
Wesley. You mislead us.
Wesley. 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 Wesley.
Who would have thought the smallest
Wesley.
guy in the room has the biggest presence?
Heart.
A very small man can cast a very large shadow.
Whoa, you were really close to me right there.
I'm sorry, Nick.
Jazz. Jazz Blanche.
Is it public?
Why are you smacking my face?
Oh, Ronan left. Ronan's like, I'm gonna check out what their event's about. And then he saw like a minute of that. And he's like, this is a weird place. This is not where I want to be.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I look so bad.
I don't like how it lines up. I feel like the unlucky cameraman.
John.
Shane, do you want to try and play her again?
Yeah, exactly. Wesley, you need to burst your chest like an alien. Your face.
No.
Ouch.
Nope.
No, that does not any better for me.
The distortion's pretty rad though.
Is everybody still seeing it wrong?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking at it with just one eyeball. Wesley, stop getting into John.
Classic Wesley.
Wish I could pick you up and hold you and spin around. That would be great.
I just want to hold his
Cave.
head.
Hey, are there any people in here who are new to VR?
I think everybody here is comfortable in VR.
Yeah, I think.
Okay,
we're
that's
down
good.
to all of our.
Yeah, Wesley is.
So you're all used to. I think anybody who's been in VR for long enough is used to things working really poorly and breaking.
Yeah. Motion sickness.
Oh, this is closer.
And that's good. Yeah, I
Go,
don't know
baby.
why it won't play when I.
Oh, they're almost
Play.
together.
Hey Shane, you can just try instead of loading them up from my media, just click load media and then paste it into load media video and paste it into the URL box.
Okay. Let me try.
I don't know why Wesley amuses me so much.
Crunch it.
And then select
He just
3D.
wants to He just wants to be held.
He just wants to be loved. Oh, did we lose Luke? Oh no, you're right behind me.
He's
I like your
Yep,
glasses.
and your arms are broken.
Oh.
Do I have glasses?
I just wanted to be as tall as you.
Oh, I can change my height.
Evan, I'm just imagining you doing this in
I'm gonna
class.
part your hair, Wesley. You got
Because
it.
Wesley is. Aren't you taller than Evan? Yeah.
Okay, really?
Oh.
Oh my God. Wesley!
Whoa.
You gotta cut it.
Wesley, hit me up high. There's power in beans.
Yes.
You see, when the asteroid hit and killed all the dinosaurs, aside for the tiny mammals.
The mammal survived.
Being a child is terrible.
Can you imagine if everybody was this tall? Like just looking at people?
I know. Like everyone can crush me. It's not pleasant. Hi, Max.
Heavy breathing.
Who's breathing?
I've got 4 arms.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
Woo!
That was really trippy.
That is some
The end was super cool.
good hot content.
Evan, don't you get so thick?
Ooh, Corona.
Oh yeah, I got tall.
There's Nick.
Thanks for the sacrifice, Nick.
So it was me. It was me. I left and the video just played perfectly. Cool. So yeah, that was another trippy video. Any comments or questions on that? Pablo?
Which camera did you use? Because this one was very
We used our own
noisy.
camera. The same, so it's eight lenses that are all little circle along the top.
But why this video was that noisy?
It's a technique called data moshing, and it's like there's a lot of different ways of doing it. One way is you just directly open up the file, like your video file in a text editor, and then you just like randomly delete things or edit things. There's also other software you can do where you take two videos and you put them on top of them. So what that is like a classic like video encoding error, but just used as a editing tool.
Oh, so the footage wasn't that noisy? You made it on purpose?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. For anybody who thought that the video you saw was broken, it was intentional.
Oh, okay.
And actually, I got that from a lot of people. I sent them the video, and they were like, "Oh, I really wanted to see your video, but the file was broken." And I was like, "Can you explain to me like how it was broken?" And then they explained it. I'm like, "No, that's correct. Should have been like that."
What was your inspiration for making this video?
My inspiration, I think I like the whole concept of things from movement, and like you noticed when the scene completely changed and then people start moving, and as they move they come into appearance, and I just thought that concept of like movement creating existence was really cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Oh,
The way you
thank you.
blend footage is just really, really unique.
The end part was because it felt like the ground was moving for a bit, and then you realized it was the ocean, and that was really cool.
Oh yeah. Because when it starts moving, it's still the ground, like looks like the ground, but the movement is from the video of the ocean.
Wow. Mesh humans is terrifying.
Don't worry, I've got it saved now.
That's like way more psychedelic than any video I've made.
PG.
Cool. Well, one more thing, just a little bit of a chat with Max on VR and empathy. Do you want to show a clip first?
Yeah.
Or after?
Yeah, let's do it after. We can stay right here so that we don't have to move around a lot. I'll keep it brief because we've been here for a while. But yeah, my main focus in VR work is sort of creating content that I'm going to use one of Luke's becomes an empathy machine.
Hold
He
on.
hates that. Actually, that's a joke.
Let me switch. Hold on. Let me switch you also to 2D sound so everybody can hear you better. Okay, continue.
All right, so there's lots of different ways that you can empathy in VR. Lucas would be able to touch a little bit on that with his Where Thoughts Go experience. You can do lots of CG things using the power of virtual bodies to put you into the body of someone else. Will neurologically make you think that you're in that person's body. So if it's a different gender, race, type of clothing that's significant, you can actually have an experience in that body and it will make you feel like you're that person, which lowers your implicit bias. One of the things I focus on at FXG is 360 video. So I actually recently went to the Juneteenth marches in Brooklyn. And I took a lot of 360 video with my buddy Edwin, and we did a good edit of that. Basically, the main idea was because of COVID and the power of these Black Lives Matter movements that are going on, people all around the world aren't able to actually go to them oftentimes, which is sad. So the idea was to sort of capture it as best as we could to enable people around the world to sort of feel like they were there and they were a part of it and something new that they didn't know before. So I'm just gonna let the content speak for itself and hope that it actually plays properly.
I'm gonna leave preventively just so that I think then it will play. Because I think I'm cursed. I have the curse of no VR video playing. I'll come back in after the VR video is finished. And Shane.
Oh no, what was his end shame message?
You'll never know.
Yeah.
Evan just scooting.
Oui. Seriously? Mental fit. A tablet's the size of your entire body.
Very aggressive,
Good.
Evan.
Yeah. VR really brings through sides of Wesley just wants love. Eva wants to break noses.
Pablo?
Latent sorcery, baby.
Oh, it was working for half a second.
Central Brooklyn in the state senate, and I'm so here we can share for that here.
Afternoon, everyone. I'm Assemblywoman Diana Richardson. I represent the communities of Crown Heights, Prospect, Leopards Gardens, and East Flatbush. I am here today as an unapologetic Black woman.
That was
Cool. So that was just a short preview. We're going to be releasing the full version in the next few days. It's only 6 minutes, but with 360, you sort of get the whole capture of what's actually going on in a story or an event. So if you've been following the BL movement in the news or anything, you probably see a lot of stuff about rioting, a lot of stuff about protests going violent, badly. What happened at this March and Juneteenth, it was just completely peaceful. You saw people dancing, there was music playing, it was like very celebratory. And so, yeah, it's really important to get into these events, 360 cameras, so that people can really see the real version of what's going on. And yeah, does anyone have any questions?
Oh,
Oh, sorry, I was unmuting myself, but now that I have the chance, how complicated was you to like have the camera all the time with you, and also a game?
So Nikk can answer
Hit
the
me.
question about the stabilizer afterwards, but it was pretty easy actually. I was using the camera Nikk used for the other psychedelic music videos, our ET2 8 lens rig, and basically I just connected it to a light stand, and I sort of just like raised it up and had the light stand pressed against my torso the entire time as we marched. It was a little definitely got a little bit annoying sometimes, but it wasn't so bad.
And on the stabilization, all the stabilization was done in post. So
Oh.
she just had it on the light stand without any sort of gimbal or anything. And then we worked hard to try and stabilize it as much as we could in post.
Yeah, nice job.
I
Other
think,
questions?
John, did you have a question?
Yeah. I was wondering, so if you're covering kind of these kind of events, what kind of other events would you be looking to do in the future to kind of showcase the true side of what's actually going on?
Yeah, I mean, I'm super interested in VR journalism. I would like to enter any sort of situation, whether it's a protest or a movement or live speeches. Yeah, I mean, personally, I don't want to go walk into a tornado or a war zone, but luckily my friend Edwin is willing to do that. So we can sort of take turns going into the field. But yeah, I mean, I'm just super stoked to go into really any sort of situation that you can imagine where it's important to sort of get the entire 360-degree perspective.
Cool.
I have a question.
Yes.
How do you think this is a tool for empathy? How do you think it will change society? Like with more people using VR and experiencing this, what do you think that means for like humanity in the future?
Yeah, well, if we look at this specific video as an example, you probably have people around the world who, on a shallow level, might sort of care and might have a little bit of empathy towards the BLM movement. But I think people are missing the actual first person experience because obviously you just can't do that. So by going out of this experience and being surrounded by the protests, surrounded by the movement, and feeling like you're actually a part of what's going on, that is what's going to actually build more empathy than any other type of technology that we have so far. It's by putting you into the situation and into the change that we want to see in the world. So for future things, it's not always going to be a protest, but it's really, it just has to do with your body connecting to an event that's happening and making it feel important to you on a personal level. And he's gone. Anybody else?
I have another question.
Yeah.
While you were in the protest, I know, well, you cannot choose what is going to happen. You're just being the journalist and recording what is happening. But at the end, when you are editing, did you choose like
I'm gonna ask if they have any
a
questions.
storyline to guide it?
I didn't do the editing, but I did direct sort of how post-production team did the editing. To get as much footage as I possibly could between two cameras. We got probably a couple hours worth, which was pretty great. And in the end, a lot of the footage that we had was sort of similar types. Like we had a lot of dancing, we had some speeches by political members, we had a lot of marching. So what it came down to when I was looking through it, I found that the speeches that were made by some of the politicians were really, really impactful. That it gets boring to just watch a speaker in 360 video for like 5-10 minutes just sort of going on. You don't really know what to look at. So the full length video that's going to be out in a few days, what we ended up doing was sort of just taking the audio from those two speeches that were really powerful and overlaying it on top of a lot of the scenes from the marching so that, you know, it's doesn't get boring. You have things to look at. You feel like you're in the protest, but you're also getting the main message from the speakers. So yeah, I think it turned out, and you can follow me on social media, and you'll be able to see the full version.
Yes, that's very cool. I really want to see it. Thank you.
Thanks.
Oh yeah.
Caleb, are you raising your hand or are you just twisting around?
You're muted.
Yeah, I don't know why. I think Oculus did something to my hand. I can't move it anymore. I'm sorry, it wasn't a question.
Cool. It's cool, it happens.
Okay. Yeah, I can have it now.
Cool. I might actually be able to show like the first minute of the full version if you guys are interested. I can try to load it.
I like to see that.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Pump up the jam.
Maybe. So I have it in my media, Nick. How do I get it into the metaverse? Oh, you're muted.
I'll press B on your left hand and your iPad pop up.
Oh. Yeah, so I have the 2D version only. Cool. Well, you guys can talk amongst yourselves.
So, how about that? Those sports.
Damn it, Evan! I almost got that on phone.
Hey, Lucas, can you give us any more teasers of what to expect in future episodes of Lucas Builds the Future?
Ooh. The next, yeah, I have like 8 episodes planned. And you know, it depends on whether things are gonna go well and whether I can make this financially sustainable with Patreon. But it's, yeah, the next one's gonna be a smaller, way smaller project, but it's gonna try some new things. Third one's gonna be super weird. Fourth is gonna be something based on a movie everybody really likes. And then things will start to get a little bit dark.
Oh, that's exciting. And will your VR time machine be open to the public ever?
Nah, probably not. But somebody suggested I made a tiny version for the Museum of Other Realities. I'm actually gonna talk to them. That'd be cool.
Oh yeah. What would the tiny version be? Like just maybe a
You
week
just pull a
of,
lever and it's a random memory.
so that we don't accidentally see your secret
My penis,
illegal
yes.
crimes.
Oh, that too.
All the time you Russia.
Yeah, just something simple, more as a monument to the project rather than actual functionality. Even a week of footage is a lot of stuff.
Hey,
Yeah,
and then
everything about it is a pain in the ass.
so did you also film Dimension X, the event at Oxy 6?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh.
I have shots from there.
Because I remember your amazing glasses, and I didn't get anything of it really. And then I saw the video, and I was like, I remember those glasses.
Yeah, I was just like low key doing it.
That's awesome.
No one knew. Ooh. Wait, what was that?
In the future, would you
No,
ever
just
do something like that 24/7?
Maybe. Probably not, because I think I've already covered most of the lessons. Um, yeah, I want to be really careful with not repeating myself.
Alright,
Lucas, can I
guys,
ask you something?
we're up
Yeah?
and running,
Oh,
but
sorry.
you guys can finish.
No, I don't see anything. I think I should leave. I'll be back when the video is over. Enjoy, guys.
Wait yet.
Bye, Nick.
The clapping is just such strange timing. Like it's not too fast or slow. It's just kind of weird.
It's very off. Doesn't feel physical at all.
Just scattered applause.
Wait, Evan, you had a question? Was it you?
Oh, it was me.
Oh no, I think it was
Excuse me. Oh, I'm out. I wanted to ask you, how are you accessing to the video for your VR application? Are you uploading your videos on the engine or you're streaming it?
I'm streaming it from hard drives that are connected to the computer.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, really just a simple solution, honestly. Just because everything else was already so complicated. Oh,
and there are so heavy files.
Did it play?
Yes. No.
So I'm not to blame.
Guys,
No,
I do have
it's
All right. Well, maybe we should. We're gonna give it one more try.
Yeah.
You have the video on your iPad? Do you know how to open your iPad? Press B on your left
Yeah, no,
hand.
it's here. It's just being a jerk.
Okay.
And let's shoot at Weasley.
Yeah.
1, 2.
Guys, I have to leave.
Oh. Take it easy.
It's been 2 hours and I need to end, but my phone's ringing. Is that okay?
It's okay, Lucas.
Cool, you can talk. You can talk to me
Thank
on
you.
Discord or
Yeah, I'll
social
reach
media.
out to you later about the 3D tracking.
Cool. Thanks, John.
What's going on?
Ooh,
Fireworks.
Wow. Ah.
It's like liking up, but and Wesley's the house.
Where's all this stuff coming from?
magic.
No idea.
The admins have power.
The calendar to put me in a calendar.
Don't worry about
Don't worry about it. It's upsetting that I can't pop these bubbles when they come over. That would just make this the most immersive media experience in VR.
The politics have said that we have to wait to end police brutality. The politics have said that we can't have true economic equality. The politics says we have to have
He's more susceptible to co-standing with you when you need them. Just saying, I want to thank all of the organizers of this event today.
Hell yeah.
All right. Work.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh.
That's very cool.
So the hardest part about filming that was not dancing. But
I watched it on. We were filming a live stream, and there was some angles of the live stream where your avatars looked like you were like standing on the grass beside all the people watching the speech, which was really
it is cool.
awesome. Well, I think yeah, it's been 2.5 hours. Thank you all so much for coming. Lucas, I guess, disappeared. But yeah, a round of applause for Max and really cool stuff happening with empathy and VR and giving an opportunity for people to experience Black Lives Matter protest from wherever we are. So it's really cool. Look forward to seeing kind of more stuff that you do on that front.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Cool.
Yeah,
Thank
cool.
you so much for
Well,
your time, Max
thank you.
and Nick.
Yeah.
Hey guys,
Well, thanks
one
everybody
last
for
thing
coming.
is I'm delivering a form which you don't have to answer if you don't want to, but it's just because FXG is going to be hosting some more events in here in the future. So if you have any speakers in mind who you would like to see at one of these, or if you just have any suggestions in general, please write them down on the form.
Awesome. Cool. Well, for me, I'm heading out. I'm gonna go to bed now. It's 2:30 in the morning, but yeah, really great to see a bunch of familiar faces, and look forward to meet next.
Yeah. Thank you, Nick.
Thanks,
Cool.
Nick.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Have a good night.
Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are. And break.
Great.